There's this question that so many of us have in the back of our minds, a question that can really hold us back from trying something new. And today, we're going to tackle it head on. We're going to get into the real science of what happens to our brains and our ability to learn after 50.
So let's just put it right out there. Maybe you're dreaming of picking up guitar, finally learning Spanish, or getting the hang of some new software. And then, that little voice pops into your head, doesn't it? It whispers, "Are you kidding? Is it too late? Has that ship sailed?"
Well, let me give you the short, simple, and scientifically backed answer. No, 1,000 times no. It is absolutely not too late. See, the problem isn't your age. It's that you might be using the wrong playbook for how your brain works now.
All right, so let's get into it. Our ability to learn at literally any age is all thanks to one incredible, almost magical property of our brains. It's the whole reason we can even have this conversation.
And that property is called neuroplasticity. Now, this isn't some feel-good buzzword. It's a hard biological fact. Your brain is constantly, and I mean constantly, rewiring itself based on what you do and think. It's not a fixed computer chip. It's more like a living, adaptable map. And the best part? There's no expiration date on this ability. It doesn't just switch off when you turn 50 or 60.
Okay, but let's be real. Your brain is not the same as it was when you were 15. Of course it isn't. But here's the critical thing to understand. Different does not mean worse. Your brain hasn't downgraded. It is just recalibrated. It's traded in one set of superpowers for another.
Think of it like this. The young brain is all about speed. It's a sponge, built for rapid-fire memorization, just soaking up facts. The mature brain, though, it's a master strategist. It's less interested in just collecting data and way more interested in connecting it. It takes new information and immediately asks, how does this fit with everything else I already know? You're trading sheer speed for incredible depth.
I love this analogy of the brain as a forest. After decades of life, you've built these massive, well-paved super highways for the things you do all the time. But that doesn't mean the rest of the forest is gone. You can absolutely still create new little footpaths. It just takes a bit more deliberate effort than it did when the whole landscape was untamed.
And that brings us to what is honestly the biggest hurdle for any adult learner. You see, the hardest part is rarely learning the new thing. It's unlearning the old thing. If you've ever felt like you're literally fighting your own brain to break a habit, well, you are. But listen, it's not a character flaw. It's a design feature.
Remember those well-worn paths? After decades, they're not just paths anymore. They are 8-lane, perfectly paved neural highways. Your brain has spent a lifetime optimizing these routes to be as fast and efficient as possible. They're your default setting. So, why does your brain stick to these highways so stubbornly? Simple. It's not lazy, it's smart. Taking the familiar path saves a ton of energy. It's predictable and it feels safe. This is a deep-seated survival instinct at play, not a weakness on your part.
So the big question is, how do we build new paths without fighting our brain's nature? The answer is to give it exactly what it craves, a perfect mix of safety and freedom. We do this with a two-part framework, and it's called pillar and playground. This is such a brilliant way to think about it. The pillar gives your brain that safety it wants. This is the foundation, the core rules, the essential concepts. But then you need the playground. This is your low-stakes area to just mess around. Apply what you've learned, make mistakes, and try again without any pressure. You need the pillar for structure and the playground for flexibility.
Okay, that's the big idea, pillar and playground. Now let's get super practical. How do you actually do this? Here are 5 concrete strategies you can start using like today.
So here they are. And as you look at this list, you'll probably notice a theme. It's not about cramming or forcing it. It's all about consistency, hands-on engagement, and, maybe most importantly, changing your mindset. This is about learning smarter, not harder. Let's just zoom in on spaced repetition for a second. Instead of one massive study session, you learn something new, and then you revisit it in gradually increasing intervals. Every single time you successfully pull that memory back up, you're sending a powerful signal to your brain that says, hey, this is important, don't throw this away. And that neural connection gets thicker and stronger every time.
This one is a total game changer. Passive learning is just letting information flow past you, like watching video. Active learning is when you have to grab that information and create something with it. Don't just read a chapter. Try to write a one-paragraph summary from memory. The act of retrieving and creating is what actually builds those new pathways in the forest.
If you remember nothing else, please remember this. We are so conditioned to think that if something feels difficult, it means we're failing at it. But that's completely backward. That feeling of mental strain, that little bit of a struggle, that is the feeling of a new neural connection being forged. It's the feeling of growth itself. So lean into it.
So we've looked at the challenges, we've looked at the strategies. But I want to close this out with your single greatest advantage as a learner over 50. This is your secret weapon. It's something that a 20-year-old studying for an exam they have to pass can never, ever compete with.
And it all comes down to this one single, powerful word: meaning.
Just think about it for a second. At this stage in your life, you aren't learning because a teacher is forcing you to or because you need to pass a test. You are learning because you chose to. You're driven by genuine passion, by deep curiosity, by a true purpose. And that kind of internal motivation, that personal why, is the highest octane fuel for learning that exists. It tells your brain, pay attention, this actually matters to us.
So your brain is ready. It is more than capable. And you have this incredible superpower of life experience and meaning on your side. Really, the only question left is the most exciting one of all. What are you going to do with it?